Super Bowl 59. Eagles dominate Chiefs in historic 40-22 victory, ending Kansas City's three-peat dream. In a shocking turn of events, Super Bowl 59 was supposed to be a coronation of the Kansas City Chiefs and their quest to make history with a third consecutive Super Bowl title. But in one of the most dominant performances in NFL history, the Philadelphia Eagles crushed the Chiefs' dream, winning 40-22 in a game that will be remembered as one of the most one-sided Super Bowls ever played. The Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, were favorites to make history and secure their third Super Bowl victory in a row, something no NFL team has ever accomplished. But the Eagles, playing with a level of intensity and focus rarely seen on this stage, were simply unstoppable, dominating every phase of the game. Eagles' defense shuts down Chiefs. From the opening whistle, it was clear that the Chiefs' offense was nowhere near the high-flying unit it had been in previous years. The Eagles' defense made it their mission to not let Mahomes work his usual magic. And they succeeded in spectacular fashion. The Chiefs had no answer for Philadelphia's relentless pass rush, as the Eagles' defensive front overwhelmed Kansas City's offensive line from the get-go. Mahomes, usually so calm under pressure, looked rattled and frustrated. By halftime, the Chiefs had only one first down, and that came on their first offensive play. It was the worst first half Mahomes has ever had in his NFL career, with a 10.7 passer rating and 2 interceptions. The first of those interceptions came from rookie Cooper DeJean, who picked off a reckless throw from Mahomes and returned it for a pick six. This play was a moment that made it clear the Chiefs' dreams of a comeback were slipping further away. The Eagles built an insurmountable 24-0 halftime lead, a gap that seemed impossible for the Chiefs to overcome. Jalen Hurts leads the charge. While the defense was suffocating the Chiefs, the Eagles' offense, led by Jalen Hurts, was clicking on all cylinders. Hurts delivered an MVP-worthy performance, finishing the game with 221 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 72 rushing yards. He showcased both his arm and his legs, leading Philadelphia to touchdowns and ensuring the Chiefs would never even get close. Hurts hit Devonta Smith for a 46-yard touchdown in the third quarter, extending the Eagles' lead to 34-0. The game was practically over at that point, and Hurts was later named Super Bowl MVP. He made sure to give his team the confidence they needed, delivering big plays when it mattered most. Hurts' mastery in the pocket and ability to keep the chains moving were pivotal in dismantling the Chiefs' defense. The Chiefs' streak comes to an end. The Chiefs' quest for a third straight Super Bowl was supposed to be a historic achievement, a feat that would set them apart as one of the greatest NFL dynasties of all time. But that quest came to a screeching halt in Super Bowl 59. The Chiefs simply couldn't find a way to match the Eagles' level of play. Even when Mahomes started making a few throws in the second half, it was clear the Chiefs were already too far behind. Kansas City's defense, which had carried the team through tough playoff games in the past, was powerless against the Eagles' offense. As the game wore on, it became clear that no amount of Mahomes' magic would be enough to reverse the tide. This game wasn't just a loss for the Chiefs, it was a statement victory for the Eagles. A legacy-defining performance. This victory by the Eagles was a landmark moment not just in the franchise's history but in NFL history. The performance was so dominant that it's safe to say it ranks among the best defensive Super Bowl performances ever. The Eagles' front seven, led by defensive linemen like Hassan Reddick and Fletcher Cox, made life miserable for Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense all night long. The pressure was relentless, with Mahomes running for his life and unable to find any rhythm. On the other side of the ball, the Eagles were methodical and efficient. Saquon Barkley was largely neutralized by the Chiefs' defense, but it didn't matter. Hurts and the offense had plenty of other weapons, and they made sure to keep the Chiefs on their heels the entire game. This Super Bowl marked a major shift in the balance of power in the NFL. While the Kansas City Chiefs had dominated the league over the past few years, the Philadelphia Eagles showed the world that they could match and surpass that dominance when everything clicked. This wasn't just a great win, it was a statement that the Eagles were the best team in the NFL this season. Looking ahead, the Eagles' pursuit of a dynasty. The victory in Super Bowl 59 gave the Eagles their second Super Bowl title in franchise history. This was their most dominant performance to date, and it came against one of the most successful teams of the past decade. The Eagles had learned from their loss to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57 and came into this game with a renewed sense of purpose and focus. The Chiefs' attempt at a three-peat came to an abrupt and resounding end. But that doesn't take away from their incredible accomplishments over the last several seasons. However, the Eagles have now firmly established themselves as the team to beat. They will begin their pursuit of a three-peat in the coming years with a roster that's capable of dominating the league for the foreseeable future. For now, though, the Philadelphia Eagles are on top of the NFL, and they will savor the historic win that not only ended the Chiefs' three-peat hopes but also put them among the league's elite franchises. Super Bowl 59 will go down in history as a day when the Eagles delivered an all-time great performance that destroyed the Chiefs' dream and firmly planted their own legacy in the annals of NFL history. Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts shines in Eagles' dominant win over Chiefs. In one of the most defining performances of his career, Jalen Hurts cemented his legacy as one of the NFL's premier quarterbacks, earning the Super Bowl LIX MVP after leading the Philadelphia Eagles to a resounding 40-22 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Hurts threw for 221 yards, ran for 72 yards, and accounted for 3 total touchdowns in what was an absolutely masterful performance. The win gave the Eagles their second Super Bowl title in franchise history and served as redemption for Hurts, who had fallen short in his first Super Bowl appearance 2 years ago. Hurts' record-breaking performance. Hurts' 72 rushing yards broke his own Super Bowl rushing record, set just 2 years earlier in Super Bowl 57. His rushing touchdown also marked his 4th career Super Bowl rushing score, moving him to just one behind the legendary Emmitt Smith for the most in Super Bowl history. Yet, it was his arm that truly sealed the game. Hurts unleashed a 46-yard bomb to his college teammate Devonta Smith, giving the Eagles a commanding 34-0 lead, which effectively sealed the game and crushed any hopes of a Chiefs comeback. His performance in Super Bowl LIX was a culmination of a career marked by doubt and growth. Hurts, once an afterthought in NFL circles, finally had his moment on the biggest stage. After a 17 of 21 passing performance, including 2 touchdown passes and 1 interception, Hurts demonstrated just how much he had evolved since entering the league. A long journey to the top. Jalen Hurts' journey to Super Bowl glory has been anything but conventional. Despite his early success at Alabama, where he led the team to an undefeated regular season and won SEC Offensive Player of the Year, Hurts faced adversity when Tua Tagovailoa took over as the starting quarterback in the national championship game. Although Hurts was benched during that game, his resilience and leadership remained unshaken. He later transferred to Oklahoma, where he put together one of the most impressive college seasons of his career, finishing as a Heisman Trophy finalist behind Joe Burrow. Despite his impressive college resume, NFL teams still had questions about Hurts' arm strength and passing ability, which led to him being selected 53rd overall in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Eagles. But Hurts quickly proved his doubters wrong, earning the starting job in his rookie year and steadily improving each season. Under the guidance of head coach Nick Sirianni, Hurts has blossomed into a multifaceted leader, capable of beating defenses with both his legs and arm. By the time the 2024 season came around, Hurts was playing at an MVP level. He guided the Eagles to a 15-1 record over the final 16 games of the regular season and led the team to the best overall record in the NFL. But it was in Super Bowl LIX where he truly arrived as one of the elite quarterbacks in the game. His ability to perform under pressure and his relentless drive to prove himself were on full display throughout the game. Redemption and legacy. This victory was especially sweet for Hurts, as it served as redemption after his heartbreaking loss in Super Bowl 57. Hurts' performance in that game was memorable, but a few key mistakes and a late-game collapse led to the Chiefs claiming the title. In Super Bowl LIX, however, Hurts was nearly flawless. His poise, decision-making, and clutch plays in critical moments not only secured the win but also proved that he is now firmly in the conversation with the best quarterbacks in the league. In a season filled with high expectations, Hurts finally delivered on the promise he showed throughout his career. From overcoming early doubts about his passing accuracy to leading his team to a Super Bowl championship, Jalen Hurts has proven that he is much more than just a dual-threat quarterback. He is a leader, a playmaker, and now, a Super Bowl MVP. The MVP moment. The moment that truly encapsulated Hurts' performance was his touchdown pass to Devonta Smith late in the third quarter. Hurts stood tall in the pocket, buying time as Smith streaked down the field. With perfect accuracy, Hurts launched the ball into Smith's hands, allowing him to make a sensational catch and run into the end zone. The play not only gave the Eagles a commanding lead but also illustrated how far Hurts had come as a passer, solidifying his status as a true franchise quarterback. Love, Hurts, the Jordan Brand moment. In a nod to his journey and success, Jordan Brand was ready with a commercial featuring Hurts immediately after the game, showcasing the tagline, "Love, Hurts," a fitting tribute to both his name and his unwavering determination. It was clear that Hurts was no longer a question mark. He was now the face of the NFL. A Super Bowl MVP. And a champion. Conclusion. Jalen Hurts' performance in Super Bowl LIX was more than just a statistical display. It was the culmination of years of hard work, growth, and resilience. From his rocky college career to being doubted by NFL scouts, Hurts has defied expectations at every level. Now, with a Super Bowl MVP trophy in hand, Hurts has fully embraced his status as one of the game's elite quarterbacks. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the future has never looked brighter with their franchise star leading the way.